Hello Capricorn friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Capricorn December 2022 mini scopes. These are a more abbreviated version of my usual monthly horoscopes because we were in the path of Hurricane Ian and we are still getting things worked out, including having internet because we do not have that at this point. So I'm keeping the recordings shorter so that it will be easier for me to upload them when I can find a place to do that. This is for you if Capricorn is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other placement of Cap that you are watching for. What we're going to talk about here is relevant for you. If you are a very late degree Cap placement of any of those, like I am, then you will additionally benefit from listening to my Aquarius report. Okay, so if your birthday is like January 15th through the rest of the sign, or if you have a 23 degree or later Cap placements, then I suggest you listen to both the Cap and Aquarius reports as they will have information for you. If you don't want to, you watch the visuals that I have in this video. You can listen to the podcast version of this. If you search for Annie Botticelli Astro Kisses, you will find my syndicated podcast. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on everywhere that you can find, or you can just search for Annie Botticelli Astro Kisses and listen to the syndicated podcast if you don't want to have the visual version. Or if you do want the visual version, you can go from wherever you're listening on podcast to YouTube. Okay, so this month I am calling Finding Your Happy, and we will talk about this. It will be a string of a theme that I will bounce back and forth to get to help you understand the opportunities at this time to become happier. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. As I told you, I actually have multiple placements of Capricorn, so we'll just break it down. We'll also go into some of the general astrology that will be personally affecting Caps, and of course, things specific for Capricorn only. Good news is that we are out of the eclipse heat. The Taurus-Scorpio eclipse season that had really gotten strong in October and November especially is starting to cool down now, and we might have news continuing to come from these friendly eclipses for Capricorn because they are in good astrological placement for you. However, we are complex beings and you have more than just your Capricorn sign. So if you found that you've had some trouble or challenges from this, it's not from the angle made to your Capricorn position. It must be something else in your chart because this is actually quite a positive time of activation. But regardless, the heat of the big news, the big changes is mostly behind us now, and December is a month of integration with maybe some small pieces of clarification coming through. We are in a time where certain aspects of your life are going to be waking up in a big way. Jupiter, the gas giant, has gone direct as of the end of November. So the things especially highlighted here have to do with your home, your family, your housing, real estate matters, things having to do with your inner world, like your psychology, things that happened to you as a child that are affecting you as an adult, your genetics and ancestry. If you're trying to search for a parent or a sibling or a relative, if you're trying to get perfect housing, if you're trying to buy or sell your home, if you're looking for a new space, if you need roommates, if you're wanting to expand your family, any of these things are beautifully expanded by Jupiter, now direct and back in Aries. So this is really not only working out for you this month, but straight through, especially even into May of 2023. You're going to have a lot of change and a lot of expansion and growth in these arenas. And it is very, very, very evident at this time. There are also going to be some chironic wounds exposed in this area. So you might have some more growing to do, which could have a little bit more of a challenge that you have to get through to get the goodies. But you do have a lot of very positive aspects at this time because the planets moving through Sagittarius are making trines with these Aries aspects, including the energy of Jupiter. Okay, so lots of activity. As the sun moves through Sagittarius, Venus, star goddess Hygeia, Mercury all move through the sign of Sagittarius. We've got a lot of creativity and vitality and sizzling heat and fire, a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration, and all of this will be coming alive. Now, for Cappies, all of these Sag movements also go through your 12th house. Okay, so this is going to be one of our first points to finding your happy. All right, so every year when you have the 12th house crowding, which happens before your birthday, or if you're watching for another placement besides your sun, it crowds the 12th house still of whatever placement that you're watching for. But this can bring up your fears. This can bring up your stinking thinking. This can bring up patterns that have been holding you back and really reveal to you the things that are standing between you and the things you want. So this is a very important month, and the later you are in the sign for your Cap placement, the more this will also continue into January. But this is a time for you to, piece by piece, uncover the things that are holding you back from being happier, from finding happiness through your pursuits, from delving deeper into relationships of consequence that are fruitful. All of these things have some manner of opportunity here, but a lot of it's going to be kind of in digging through some muck, addressing the issues, and getting through them to the other side. Now, there are also opportunities that don't involve you having to do any work at all, because we do have trines and other beautiful aspects this month that can really just place some things in your lap. But there is this very strong piece where your mental space, your emotional space is getting rumped and bumped around. But what really is getting highlighted is positive solutions, creative solutions, and expanding your horizons. When the energies are in Sagittarius, optimism tends to increase. We tend to have a chance for adventure, a chance to see things differently, whether that's because of the broadening of travel or whether that's because someone says something to us or something happens to us that makes us see things in a different way. So definitely look out for those type of connections, as well as expansion through information and education. Anything having to do with immigration or teaching or learning is very strongly highlighted at this time. And you might find some clues to your happiness, finding your happiness, having to do with one of these sectors. So we still have Mars in retrograde. That's going to be retrograde until January and have a slow crawl out of that retrograde that won't really finish until March. So we're still kind of inwards and backwards, being the earthworm, going back over old soil to make it super fertile for future growth. This can also mean that certain things that you're trying to do are having roadblocks or taking longer than you expect. And it could also mean that you're getting super obsessed and hot on certain other things. So you'll see certain things kind of shutting down and slowing down in your life. And then you'll see other things speeding up and expanding and growing really fast. So the same advice that I gave you for November still stands now. The best that you can follow the things that are flowing, and the best that you can table the things that are not, is going to help you to be happier and really find more happiness in the short term now, because it will prevent frustration. I know Caps tend to go for something and then tenaciously just bring it to its completion. Like I told you, I have a lot of placement in Capricorn myself. So I am plugging through all of the obstacles that the hurricane placed in my path, plus Mercury kind of regulating its orbit and all of the things going on with me trying to get these recordings to you. And you will be sure that I will get them to you, because this is necessary. But there are other things in my life. You will also find other things in your life, and especially by the time, this is current for in December, that are just really not necessary. All right. So just really ask, if something's giving you frustration, is it really necessary at this time to make this happen? And if it's not, you might find more happiness by tabling it and just letting it naturally move forward when it wants to. We have the month split a bit with Mercury retrograde, because until December 12th, we are completely free of any Mercury retrograde scheduling issues, the contractual issues, the miscommunications, the confusion, all of that stuff. But starting on December 12th and running until the 28th, we've got that building shadow period. And then on the 29th, Mercury actually goes retrograde. So you will notice as the month goes on, more confusion and communication, plans changing, things that were certain start to get called into question. So the more you can leave yourself unscheduled or give like a flexible RSVP, because there probably will be a lot of holiday things. It's definitely going to be a very busy time, a very highly social time. The more you can kind of say, I'll try to make it, or leave yourself a little wiggle room, the more you will find your happiness at this time, because things are going to come up for you to have to deal with. Mercury retrograde is going to make sure of that. Or plans on the side of the other person might shift, and just kind of be ready to have your plans change and schedule firmly as little as possible so that you can leave room for last minute magic. One of my favorite aspects of the retrograde is that things tend to come up on a whim, where you can say yes to those things if you have space in your calendar for that. All right, so we're just going to look at a couple of other things. With Mars in retrograde in Gemini, you might find that doing short bursts of activity might make you more productive rather than trying to plow straight through. Distractions will be high, especially until around the 22nd, when the Capricorn energies start to firm some things up. But between the Mars in Gemini and all the Sag energies, things are kind of all over the place and scattered, and you will be feeling overwhelmed from overstimulation. Okay, so that is definitely going to happen. All this time is going to be like a blur. December 7th and the days around there, we've got that 16-degree in Gemini full moon, so things being brought to fruition, completion, elucidation in the area of your health, pets, your daily work, or other things that you do every day. So something might be brought to light, a secret might be revealed, or information might be given about something, that you've been trying to find, maybe an enigmatic health circumstance, or maybe a mystery as it results, or as it relates to something in the office. Okay, so just kind of look out for that. And it might be a little bit more dramatic at that time, but drama for better or worse. So I always like to pencil that in and leave things as clear as possible to deal with the things that come up. In the days around December 23rd, we've got a new moon in Capricorn. That's a new moon in your sign. So this is an especially auspicious time for seed planting, anything on any topic. And those of you who are like December born, especially like the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th kind of days around there, you will get the biggest noticeable outcome from this new moon. But all the rest of you Cappy placements are still getting to plant seeds as it relates to your business, work, employment, your highest expression, or any other area of your life where you're trying to make positive change. For those of you who are December born, it will be your birthday. So happy birthday. Make sure you make your birthday wishes. Say them out loud. Feel them as if they've come true. Write them down. And you can definitely create more positive change from using that birthday wish time. Now, if you are not having your birthday and you're instead having the sun cross over some other Cap placement, you still can set your intentions. Intentions are a little different than wishes, but you can definitely use those supercharged energies to enforce your will on matters that you would like to accomplish things. And between the 22nd and the 28th, we've got some really sweet aspects with Venus and Mercury in Capricorn, first with Uranus and Taurus, and then with Neptune and Pisces, that can give extra blessings to all of the Cap placements. So look out for an especially productive, materially accomplished, and dreamy, poetic, emotionally connecting sequence of time at the end of the month. The one big caution this month is for overdoing things. So December 5th through 6th, the 9th, and the 21st, the days around there, we've got Mercury, Venus, then Sun square with Jupiter, which is a tendency to overdo, overcommit. So just kind of watch what you are agreeing to or putting into motion, because the odds are that you might want to wriggle out of some of that, and you might be, it's hard for a Cap to give up on something once they commit to it. So just kind of be really careful before you agree to anything. If you would like to have more information about the current month, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, and you will get a write-up of my favorite dates of the month, the ones to be extra careful, and all kinds of other things to help direct you through the month and make the most of the opportunities. If you're into astrology education, let's say you want to be a professional astrologer, go to lumelife.com, Lume life.com. and see my astrology education options, especially my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course, where I will teach you how to do astrology and earn money. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.